Hey, yo! Welcome back to the Dugout and Beyond, and we are now officially up to the quarterfinals, the next step of the in-season tournament, the second year for this, and we do officially have the Lakers are now out of it, so they cannot defend their title from last year, the first year of it, but we go on to the next one, and we have now going up on December 10th at 7 o'clock. We have the Magic against the Bucks, with Mavericks. The next game is Mavericks against Thunder. Then December 11th is the Hawks against the Knicks. And the next one is Warriors against the Rockets in this. With the two wild card teams in this are the Magic and the Dallas Mavericks, with considering the point differential in this, as they did finish second each in their group here. But the Magic finished with the plus 45 point differential, and with the Mavericks finishing with a plus 46 point differential in this. So it kind of already boosts them into the next step and all that. So yeah, granted, we do have the Phoenix going there. If Phoenix just scored another 20 points each game, basically, they would have been in. Same thing with Boston here. They would have been like 30 something points. It's crazy how this is all like this, because it looks like actually Group C had the best point differential out of everyone, just with the Wizards having a negative 74, which is nuts. Which I didn't actually realize that was, like, you look at, negative 49, negative 54 for Jazz, but that's just how much the Wizards are terrible this year. I'm actually surprised in how not bad the Sixers did in this, going 2-2 with the minus 3 point differential in this, but yeah, we're going along with this. And yeah, we, of course, also have the defending champs of the actual season. The Celtics are now booted out of it, as people are like, oh my god, they should have been in 3-1. Like, you have all that, but again, they did not have the plus 45 point differential as the Orlando did, or the 46 that the Mavericks did. Mavericks did in this. So hey, some of these teams are, of course, kind of newcomers. Kind of Orlando is kind of coming into their own, I think, with their players that they've been getting, like Jalen Suggs, Anthony from UNC. You have all the even though Paolo Banchero is out, they definitely are kind of coming into their own, becoming kind of that team that can definitely do some damage throughout the league. They have the Franz brothers in there also, from Germany, but the Knicks, of course, were in the playoffs last year, and they got Julius Randle for that massive trade with Minnesota. And yeah, we have Milwaukee, of course, is just Milwaukee. They're doing great. They've been just one of the top teams in the last couple years throughout the league. The Hawks are just kind of hanging around. I think that they're not like, oh my god, they're the Hawks, but they have good players. Like you have Ice Trae out there with ice in his veins, Trae Young. But for the most part, you just basically have to obviously get first. That's what every team is aiming for, is to be the first in their standings. But hey, yeah, we have some teams here that are kind of just scrappy with it. I think that Houston might be one of those teams that is just very, very scrappy. They're not really like all high end with their players right now. Like they of course have the villain that we of course somehow made him into a villain is Dillon Brooks, Steven Adams, Jalen Green. I think that they have the other Jalen Green there too. But yeah, it's kind of they're this scrappy team out there. They of course could do some damage against them, and right now they are going up against the Warriors in the first round, who of course we all know what the Warriors have over there. Although after losing Klay Thompson to that big deal that he signed in the offseason with the Mavericks, who actually are of course also in it and playing the Thunder. But yeah, with the Warriors, definitely have a solid roster there, and of course you're gonna have everyone wanting to shoot threes out there, because you have the man, the myth, and not really the myth. He's definitely still a very much But he's also definitely, he's still hurt. But I don't really know if he's going to be back in time. He's out with this ankle injury, which he's been hurting basically every year for the last like 4 or 5 years, and it's been probably getting worse and worse. He uses an ankle brace, but yeah, he right now expected to be out at least until this till maybe even later. So I'm expecting them them to rest him. Of course, I'm gonna say that this is not really the highlight of it. Like, yeah, sure, you want to win this tournament, but also no one going from years ago goes, hey, let me go win the in-season tournament. It never existed. You're going, I want to go win the NBA championship. That might be what they're going to be doing. Also, Draymond's out too. Not really sure what he's out with, but they have a pretty solid team out there. Didn't realize that Kyle Anderson was that tall and heavy from UCLA, but he is. But yeah, this is definitely a pretty deep team, and they definitely have taken that 3-point range from Curry and Thompson and put that basically into, they got Buddy Hield, Tracy Davis, Kuminga, kind of all putting them into that. Gary Payton is kind of been becoming a 3-point shooter. But let's go back also to the Mavericks of what I just mentioned too before, with of course having Klay Thompson go in there for the first year, which that is a very good team out there. That is a team that kind of course you have Luka Doncic, who's been there for a number of years. You have who else? We have Spencer Dinwiddie out there. We have you have Klay Thompson. You have Dwight Powell, you have Derek Lively, and Kyrie Irving. That's what? You have a great team right there, just with those guys. And of course, you have one of the former Splash Bros, Klay Thompson, on there, with another great 3-point shooter in Klay Thompson, and with a guy who can shoot from mid-range. Can go deep if he wants, but also has amazing handling. Kyrie Irving. Oh my God, his handle is disgusting. Has always been. It's just probably one of the best handles in the game in probably history. I would actually go out and say that. Just insane. If you haven't watched his handles, watch them now. Also watch them on the Cavs. Watch them. Just basically anywhere he's played, he has had disgusting handles that you can just kind of watch, and like you kind of just get into, like, I'm sure as a player you're like, I need to not focus on where the ball is, I need to focus on being able to get out and get to the movement of where he's going. It's insane. But with all these games, it's going to be very exciting. I think that these games also, I think they go to let's see, they go to the quarterfinals. I think is still at their home home course. So they go to Milwaukee, New York here, OKC, all that, and then I think the semifinals and finals is where they go to Vegas. And the only games that do not matter is the finals in their actual standing. So of course these all, as we all know, if you didn't know that from last year, that's still the same rules. All these games all matter to the regular season standing. So that's, of course, you're always going to want to win these games. You're always going to win every game you can possibly win. That will always be on your mind to do that. But I don't know about the people, you guys out there in the world, but I definitely have loved this. It's kind of like a different kind. It's like kind of taking like the NCAA tournament, but putting it into a few weeks instead of a week and a half. It's kind of the same distance, I guess, with the timing and everything. But granted, of course, we have the NCAA tournaments every day from like 12 o'clock to like 1 in the morning, depending on what's happening, how much overtime is going on. But of course, this is all scheduled out with, of course, timing of regular games throughout the week, and it's only, of course, Thursday and Friday, or Tuesday and Friday, I'm sorry, throughout the week, as we've, of course, had. And it kind of moves fast. It's just, it's literally just, you play a game, you go on. 7 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 9:30 here. It's just a regular thing. And they're the only games going on for those days. So it's not like you're overwhelmed. Like, yeah, like, as if you are have been on this channel, I do hockey, basketball, baseball, all that. Forgetting the other football. So it's not like you're overwhelmed with these games plus 7 others, which I'm sure that everyone out there would love to be able to watch 19 games at once. I love doing that too. As many games as you possibly can do. But I kind of like the kind of playoff mentality in a season. I don't know. It's kind of like, that's how I kind of see it, as like a kind of prelim to the playoffs, which, hey, we had a really good Indianapolis team who I think they did pretty well, actually. Let's see. I think they did okay this year. But of course they have some of the new guys. They have, of course, well, not really new guys. They signed a contract to Obi Toppin, who was, of course, a Knick for a while. They actually went 0-4. They sucked. They were negative 60 point differential. They sucked this year in this. They, of course, as we all know, they went to the finals against the Lakers, who I think that they actually were not great in this. No, I think they were third here, 2-2 with a negative 24 point differential. But hey, I don't even remember where the Celtics landed last year for the in-season tournament here, but as we all know, of course, that they won the entire thing. So I think actually this is the year that some of the teams in here could, of course, be in the playoffs, and of course some of the teams that are in it this year were in last year's playoffs. So it's a whole thing. It's kind of like the MLB year where COVID 2020 with the MLB season and all that, where it was 60 games, and everyone goes, "Oh my God, they only went 60 games." Like, your 60 games, you're like barely figuring out what you're doing in your life. Like, players are still getting hurt and all that. And then this year they had the Dodgers come out and win it this year, and they kind of were like, "All right, yeah. What about the 60 games? What about it, huh? Like, what are you gonna say now about it?" But hey, this is. I don't know, this is really a lot of fun, but hey, December 10th, this coming up, 7 o'clock, we got games going on. First up, Magic and Bucks, so should be a good game against an up-and-coming team, against a team that has been in the playoffs a number of years already, clashing together. Young Bucks against old Bucks. Kind of not pun intended at all, just kind of did that, but hey, yeah. So this should be a lot of fun, and stay tuned for more updates on the in-season tournament, and of course other games and the big stories going on in this crazy sports world that we have going on in this, and we all love all the time. So I'll see you on the next one. Peace!